All right, y'all, what's going on? Welcome back to another Just Absolutely Boxing Podcast, episode 95. I'm Combo Breaker 99.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Boxing P.
And it's fight weekend. It's fight week. It's a big one, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy for me. Friday, that's my birthday. And then...
Happy early birthday.
Thank you, sir.
From the Jazz Squad.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
and then
man.
Saturday, we got Spence Garcia. So, I mean, and then my drone came today. You know, my Mavic Air came today, so I'm looking to get involved in that. So I'm crazy right now. Man.
Oh yeah, you gonna got loaded. Plus you got the Spence Garcia titties for us, right? I got them for you, man.
And I got them. That would have been a lovely birthday present, but I'm gonna be happy just watching it for sure.
Oh yeah, because like going into this one, man, it's like we was talking about before when it was first announced. Like this ain't really the fight that we want to see. Like it's not the most significant fight, like the defining fight for either of these guys, but it's that fight that, like you always say, man, it's interesting, man.
Yeah, it's just, and I was just about to say, a fight can be made interesting too, man. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a wild card, two guys you never really thought about, and then, the fight got time to build up and everything, and by the time it comes to fight night, you could be interested, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Kind of how this one played out. Like, the more and more they start getting into the build up to the fight, I mean, I didn't expect it to be as big as it is. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like on the major status of a fight, everybody talking about it.
Yeah, like the closer we've been getting to it, I mean, like a couple months back, everybody was saying that it was like a mismatch. But shoot, as it got closer, Mexican fans, black fans, American fans of all kinds, what's his name? The Dallas Cowboys. Like,
the Cowboys Stadium. That's going to be crazy.
He's really pushing it. I've been seeing more and more YouTube ads. Like, when I'm watching videos, like stuff that don't even pertain to boxing, it's showing it, So, I mean, they're really pushing it.
They're really pushing this, man.
Is it sold out?
I ain't sure.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's big. So, when it all comes down to it, people just want to see a good fight.
Yeah.
And when you got two good fighters, it's going to make for a good fight, hopefully. So just kind of going into this fight, we was coming up with some points for this. I got a few questions. I know you got a few questions that we can just kind of go in on. But, like, my number one thing to kind of touch on about this fight is, do you really feel like Mikey deserves this as his first fight at welterweight?
In terms of, status and the rankings, no. You know what I'm saying? But, in terms of being a solid guy and being able to get Errol's attention and accept the fight, you know what I'm saying? But as far as this being the next fight in line for either guy, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when you say deserve, it's hard to say when you say deserve. You know what I mean? Yeah, because deserve, he's a good guy. I mean, he put in the work. I mean, But
it's kind of a harsh word, I guess, when I say it like that. I guess in like boxing terms, I'm always thinking of like, okay, Thurman, you did this and that. Now it's time for you to fight Spence. Crawford, you got past so and so, 2 or 3 guys. That's the fight you deserve next. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
Deontay Wilder, you beat so and so. You deserve the Joshua fight.
And I get that. When in terms of like saying deserve or whatever, I get it. But it's just like, I mean, you got to say no in those terms. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got to say no. No, he wasn't in contention. He wasn't even in the mix at 147 to be next in line or whatever. But like I say, talk his way into the fight. I mean, maybe he does deserve it. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because deserve on that level, I'd say no, but deserve on the level of having the balls to do it all day.
I mean, because think about it. I mean, the reason the fight is really taking place is because nobody else wants to fight Earl. So it's not like Mikey's stepping in front of guys.
Everybody took a step back.
Yeah, they took a step to the side, and the line was empty, and he just walked up to the front. So, I mean, that's why I say in those terms, I mean, he deserved it. I mean, nobody else wanted it. He wants it. I mean, that's what I'm all about, good fights.
Especially whenever he has credentials, because I know, like we say, we all feel like, oh, it's a mismatch going in, but he's a guy that he's undefeated as well, multiple division world champion. So once you go down that list, it's all there, it's all like, oh yeah, you do check out to take on a champion. If you feel like this is what you can do, we can't stop you.
The only mismatch the biggest thing when people say mismatch is the size, the 2 weight classes.
Yeah.
If you go to the resume, some people could say the paperwork, it's a mismatch the other way around.
On experience level.
Yeah,
right.
on the other way around. So, only mismatch to most of the fans is the size in this fight, I think. You know what I mean? Errol Spence is just turned into, like you say, literally a boogeyman. He's nice, laid back, he chill dude, but they got this big monster aura about him, you know what I mean? They make it seem like he be talking, and that ain't his personality at all, but they definitely making him larger than life right now.
Yeah, because, just going back, a lot of the stories you hear in sparring and, just what he do to his opponents, and just some of his past opponents were saying leading up to this fight, like, Mikey don't stand a chance, it kind of continues to build that aura around him. You know what I mean? That monster aura.
Yeah, like to an extent for me, Ant, because when somebody broke it down, like, it took him 5 or 6 rounds to do Lamont Peterson. It took him 5 or 6 rounds to do Algeria. It took him 5 or 6 rounds to do Bundy. It took him 5 or 6 rounds to do a lot of guys that, to me, Mikey is a better fighter than. You know what I'm saying? But the math don't always work out like that. But because what it was, a fighter made a statement that Mikey might get knocked out in 1 round, and I'm like, and the person he made it to was like, well, dang, that's person, he doesn't know boxing if he think that's going to happen, and blah, blah, blah. And if you think about it, Mikey with the experience, the chances that he gonna get knocked out in the first round are slim. You know what I'm saying? First of all, Errol Spence is not a 1-punch knockout artist. He goes to the body, the cumin. He's dropping bombs, but he lands a few on you to get you out of there. And Mikey is the experienced guy, experienced fighter. He probably wouldn't fall into a trap like that in 1 round. And I got to give him more than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely give him more than that, because like for me, when I think going back to the thing where people call him the boogeyman, the monster, I guess like, in no way is he like a Tyson thing, he's knocking people out. Like for me, the monster side of him for me is like when you can beat the hell out of a guy and just make him different. You take something away from him, not necessarily knock him out cold, but I feel like Spence has that ability to change fighters. You know what I mean? Whatever when he's able to beat somebody up so bad that they're almost not the same fighter. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people said Trinidad did that to Fernando Vargas, He took him into deep waters, into a war where that fighter, he's not the same anymore. Because if you look at some of the guys on the resume of Errol Spence, you don't really see them anymore, So that's kind of where I'm seeing like that aura as him being that boogeyman, Definitely not a guy I don't feel like he's going to go in there and lay him out cold,
Yeah. For me personally, like I always said, I still need to see some more greatness out of Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people get the boogeyman tag just because.
I think the greatness in the boogeyman, I think you can hold the greatness tag separate from the boogeyman tag. Like Kovalev, he had the boogeyman tag, because he was doing the same thing. Just beating guys up and not making them the same anymore. But like the greatness tag was whenever Andre Ward moved up. Tested himself,
that's greatness. Exactly.
And put the boogeyman out of commission.
Because that's what I say. The boogeyman is just a term. That's not a fact. That's not a fact. That's just a term that's loosely used. He's a boogeyman. If he's a boogeyman, Andre Ward wouldn't have went up 2 weight classes to fight somebody that's really considered a boogeyman. It's just a term, and sometimes, Paul Williams was considered the boogeyman, but that's different. He fought in 3 different weight classes. Some of these guys, being called the boogeyman. Same with Triple G. People call him the boogeyman, but at 160, you can move around to get other fights. You know what I mean? So I think it's a loose term or whatever, and people put into it what they want. You know what I mean? Because I've seen some boogeyman get the sheets pulled off of them, you know what I'm saying, in the fight game, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just saying, it's not nothing to take stock in. I hope a fighter, they calling me the boogeyman or that don't really mean nothing, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, yeah, it's like...
It's false.
For me, you know, I'm sure if it was Errol Spence, if you are a fighter in your division, you really wouldn't want to be known as that, because that means it's like you ain't really being tested because nobody wants to fight you. But if you already greatness and you've been moving up and down and doing this and that speaks for itself.
Yeah, that's undeniable.
Boogeyman kind of goes in the category of bully.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People put that term on you until that one guy comes along and, you know, shuts it down.
I absolutely agree. I couldn't have said no better.
But yeah, man, like, but with the deal with Mikey, like, taking this fight, like you were saying, like, going back to the experience thing, and he was doing the face-to-face, do you really feel like he's confident in himself when he was speaking on this stuff? Like, hey, I got all the tools to beat him. You know, I got better timing, I got better power, better speed.
I mean, yeah, when I reassessed it, I mean, I do, because those things are kind of facts. I mean, he is a 4-time world champion. Errol Spence is not. You know what I'm saying? So those things you can't. Anybody is just not a 4-time world champion. So I do believe he's confident in his self, but that don't mean you win the fight. You know what I'm saying? I do believe he's confident in what he can do, and I think, like he said, it's some stuff that I want to show the world that I can do that you guys haven't seen yet. But, you know, we can't take the fact that, you know, he is a 4-time world. This will be his 5th world title if he can pull this off, which, you know, nobody can deny. You know what I'm saying? What
do you think it is that he feels Errol can pull out of him if he feels like he is better than Errol? Because he's, you know, he says Errol Spence is a mirror image of me, but I do everything a little bit better. So I'm a better fighter. So what kind of greatness is he going to pull out of him if he's already better than him?
They kind of confuse me with that. Him and Errol Spence with that mirror thing, because they don't.
Well, Errol didn't say Errol.
Errol said, "I see some of you in me."
Yeah,
you know, he didn't say the mirror, but he said, "I see some of you in me," and I'm like, I mean, what do you mean, fighting style, personality? Because I really don't see none of either one of them in each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because when Mikey kept saying that, I was like, But then he'd say, I'm a little bit better. You know, I do everything the same, but just a little bit better. But I mean, okay, if you're better, then why do you feel like what greatness will he pull out? You know, that's kind of the question.
Well, one thing, Mikey not good at talking junk. That's not his realm. First off, you know what I'm saying? That's not his realm. First off, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, you know, to me, like, he was just, some stuff was just conversation to fill up the time or whatever, because he kept saying the same thing, coming back to the same thing. Then at the end, they got in a little childish tit for tat. I'm gonna punch you, you know, all this stuff or whatever. But I think both of them was kind of struggling to feel like, but Errol Spence is not a talker.
He's not a talker, right?
Mikey Garcia, what he's trying to promote, that's not him, you know, being the trash talker or whatever. So it was a little uncomfortable to watch it, because it wasn't really flowing like that. But I really think that he was just, sometimes he was at a loss for words and just really didn't know what to say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I really think, you know what I mean, Mikey Garcia anyway.
Yeah, I feel like he was really coming out of his character to try his hardest to think of something. Because Errol, it was just like he bringing the same energy, but him, he was just same as always.
What I do, you know what I'm saying? It was just.
But I just kind of feel like Mikey was eating up some time, maybe to just like, because that's why I was getting that vibe, because he was just like maybe trying to convince himself, you know, because he kept on saying,
I mean, he was reaching, but like I said,
I'm not worried. I'm not, you know.
It more so was like to keep the conversation going, because I mean, they probably had to edit that thing up, because it probably was moments of time where they was just sitting there. I'm telling you, like the probably was chopped up to make it even look as smooth as it did, because like I say, I mean, you do got two people. All right, now Mikey, we need you to really get into it this time. Really do it this time. All right, action. I'm a mirror image, you know what I'm saying? So, you never know with TV, but like I said, we do know both of their personalities, and they not vocal or big trash talking guys. You know what I'm saying? And
because like when they did it face to face, it was just like, for me, I was getting that. I couldn't get that. I couldn't get no bad energy from either one of them. Like they hated each other. You know what I mean? It was just like they just want to get to the ring and do what they do.
And I couldn't really pull anything from it to like teeter either way. Both guys just seem like, I mean, they saying the same thing. I'm gonna win. I got this. I'm gonna do this. I mean, both speaking facts from their side of the story. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. And it's one of these fights that you could just come at it a million different ways, and it's just all, like I say, keep saying it's going to boil down to Saturday night. You know what I mean? We could do, I mean, because it's out there, a million different perspectives. Like I say, you know, it is, you know, I would say Errol Spence is leading in the poll. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like you say, the closer the fight gets, the tides are turning. You know, today they both got big ovations when they, you know, came in. So it's not like, you know, one guy's really bigger than the other. But I just don't know, man. I mean, that's why months ago when we was talking about, I was like, man, it's exciting because I just don't know. This is crazy. It's just crazy.
I know for me, it's always like when the fight is so many months out, I'm always like, oh yeah, it's one sided and this and that. But as we get closer and closer, just wondering about those little factors that you can't put in the math. That's whenever it's always kind of like somebody might be off, you know, somebody might feel flat, kind of like Teron Willie said he was off. Like I had Teron Willie winning that Usman fight, but you see what happened there.
Absolutely.
He couldn't even perform, you know.
And anything can happen that night. That's what I say. Like, and you know, if you on the team, it's one thing. Oh, I had a bad night. You got 12 other people to back you up. But fighting a bad night, it's on you. You know, think, and we saying the bad night, okay, you can have an injury or you can not be feeling. I mean, your girlfriend could have cheated on you last night. That's a bad night. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you might want to go beat the crap out of somebody, but you might want to cry too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, these people are still human and still go through everything humans go through. You know what I'm saying? You know, and like Mike said, one time he had venereal disease in the ring. He burned in the ring. I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know.
That's you know, and they have to have that ability to block all that stuff.
Block all that stuff, pain, you know? Personal stuff, you know, all the stuff that they gotta just, like you say, try to block out. Try. You know what I mean? Buster Douglas' mother died. How do you
transition that energy into a fight? You know,
how do you block that and not well up and not get emotional in the fight? I mean, that's amazing that he was able to do that, and fighters are able to, you know, compartmentalize stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Kind of put it off into the side.
Put it off to the side for 12 rounds.
Just for 12 rounds, right. You know, that's why, man, like, every time I got to tell you, more and more we get closer, like, I start thinking of those little things, you know, like when we get to this fight, I'm feeling like, oh yeah, it's one-sided, but I'm like, oh man, this might be the night Mikey is using the footwork or something, you know? I
mean, it'd be different if we wasn't talking about a full-time world champion. I mean, we are talking about a skilled guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wouldn't say top 5, but he is a skilled guy. You know, like I say, he does nothing special, but does everything good. You know what I'm saying? And that I mean, he been spelling recipe for disaster for a lot of fighters, man. I mean, you got Broner, you got Easter. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are slick fighters. These are guys who had some power. You know what I'm saying?
The kid at 140, the Lipinets, the one everybody thought was going to be the next thing, and he like took that kid to school, man.
So, you know, we are seeing, and that's what I'm saying, that if you look at it from that perspective, people could be saying, you know, I mean, Errol Spence really don't match up because the name's not really the same. I mean, Mikey definitely got better names. I mean, Errol Spence got Kell Brook. He got an old Lamar Peterson.
Right.
Outside of that, what world class people were really there? No, I mean, no disrespect to nobody, but I'm just saying. I mean, that's what I'm just saying. We do got to recognize what Mikey is bringing to the table. It's not like, you know, it's just a bum coming up from two weight classes to take on Errol Spence. It is a worthy adversary, you know what I'm saying, for different reasons or whatever. But, you know, is that enough to pull a win out though, man.
That's what I'm.
You know what I mean?
That's what I'm thinking, because we was talking about it the other day. Mikey has the ability to do a little bit of everything and do it good, like a basic fighter. But he does everything, down the line, cross the T's, dot the I's, whatever. But like, does he have enough to step out of that box and really do something? Like, when we think of Terrence Crawford, he's moving up the same way, but we don't say it's a mismatch with him and Errol Spence. We say that's 50-50, but why are we saying Mikey Garcia fight? It's going to be a knockout for Errol Spence. Why are we saying that?
But the one good thing is, like you say, can Mikey do that? Can Mikey level up? If he can, we'll see in this fight, because this fight is going to take every level he got. You know what I'm saying? Those are that's that factor too, and that some matches bring out the best in each other. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a fight that Mikey might get hurt, Mikey might get knocked down, but that might be enough to make him go in them places that we haven't seen yet. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen yet. I mean, I don't see Mikey just taking a punch and folding. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely don't. I definitely feel the thing that's kept his basic skills together was his determination and that heart. You know what I mean?
You can't buy that. You can't train for that. You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody can be taught how to throw that jab and stuff, but it's like being able to throw it after you got rocked or something.
You got rocked.
Or being able to counter. Just the little things and seeing things for yourself. That's why I'm wondering, like, everybody's feeling like this is going to be this one-sided fight, but it's like, okay, does Mikey have that thing, man? Does he have that thing, to make it?
Let me ask you this, Ant. Will Errol being a southpaw factor in any type of way?
Will it factor in? I think so, yeah.
To benefit or to?
I think to benefit. I think it'll benefit. I think it'll benefit him.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a benefit because, first off, not only are you moving up to fight your first fight against a champion at welterweight, but you fighting a southpaw. You're not fighting a conventional fighter.
Yeah, but see, that's true. That's very true. But that's one time the experience might come in, because have been experienced and been in there with southpaw before. It's not as shocking to me as maybe never have been in there with a southpaw. I don't know how many southpaws he's faced or whatever, but those are little things where the experience might come into play. You know what I'm saying? Might not. I don't know. Yeah. I just brought it up because Errol Spence is a southpaw, which southpaws do give a lot of guys difficulty. Yeah. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's just the thing that, a guy with experience, he might have faced southpaws where it might, you know what I'm saying? He might be comfortable with him. It's not as much as a shocker to a guy who is not comfortable with southpaws. So the experience can be played out in different ways to Mikey's benefit, man. It's a the fight can go anywhere. It can go deep waters. It can be short. It can be a long night. Can championship rounds. It can you never know how it's gonna play out, but you're just gonna need a little bit of everything. And like I say, we could talk about this fight and snatch perspectives out of the goddamn anywhere, but
like we could take from history, you know what I mean, and apply it to this, man, but every time it's and that's what makes boxing so different. Like every single fight is different. Like you never can have fights where they're exactly alike. You know what I mean? Like it's always something different. Like we could say it's going to be like this fight, but there's always going to be that one little thing that's going to make it different.
One little thing different, and that's the interesting part. That fight. Yeah, it was something like that, but this happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're similar, but they're different. And this is probably going to be one for the books, man. You know what I'm saying? However it plays out, because I can't see it not being an interesting fight. I can't see spots where you're cheering for Mikey Garcia in other spots where you're cheering for Errol Spence, I just see it being that type of fight until, somebody folds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like that because
Mikey not just gonna get walked over, man. He not that. You don't think?
I don't think he gonna get like I said, like a lot of people when they put it out there that he's gonna fall, like he's not gonna fall in the first round because there was somebody saying that it might go like Tommy Hearns and Roberto Duran, but Tommy Hearns, he was that one hitter quitter. Yeah. And I mean Roberto Duran, he's known for a good chin, but he was knocked out in the second round because that's how hard he hits. Know, but like when you're talking about Errol. And Mikey, it's a little bit more balanced here,
Yeah.
I think as far as like what Mikey kind of brings, he's not going to go in there taking too many chances.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see him getting into an exchange like the Hitman and Duran. That was Duran's style. You know what I mean?
Again, each generation learns from it. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to take those crazy chances.
And then he was just type of guy that he seemed like you could get him mad in the ring. Roberto Duran, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My bad.
Oh, you good? So what you say, man? You said Duran. He's the kind. I don't think Mike could get mad like that.
No, that's
right?
what I'm saying. Duran was just like a nasty guy. You know what I'm saying? So Hitman start busting him up. And he got laid out.
So yeah,
fucking cold cop.
Yeah, so there's a lot of ways to just play out, man. And go. The more and more we get into it, it's just like. We can only say what we can say, man.
Right.
We just got to see what happens. But
it's not going to be a definitive answer. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because everybody keeps looking for one until fight night.
And that's the thing about boxing. It's kind of a little annoying about it because everybody, it's a million ways to look at it until that one night. You know what I mean?
Until the one night.
And it's going to be a few people that was right. Like. Every time something happens, there's somebody somewhere, right? You know what I'm saying? So some people going to have it, but it is a roll of the dice, and you really won't know until, come fight night. Like I said, guys are healthy and happy right now. Fight night, that all could change. Like I say, people, fighters have had food poisoning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anything. Yeah. You have to eat every day.
You got to eat, and that might be that one meal.
That might be that bad meal. You know what I mean? Down. So it's just like, dude, it's just come on Saturday night, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I just really,
Yeah, for real, man. But like this, man, like another question, man. What do you feel like the win for Mikey's going? What does the win for Mikey do over Errol Spence? What is that win? What's the win going to do for him, man? And vice versa.
All right, well, I had a kind of question. I'm going to go ahead and intertwine that in and kind of feed it back to you, but you said a win for Mikey or a win for Errol?
We'll go with Mikey first. Answer that.
Okay. A win for Mikey.
Because, you said if he pulls off, would he be bouncing?
Yeah. That's, to me, a win for Mikey would be like astronomical, and it would really put him up there in those talks of pound for pound. And how could you dispute a smaller guy coming up 2 weight classes and beat the guy that nobody wanted to fight to even see who was number one? Can't really dispute that, eh? No. You can't really dispute that, man. And so if Mikey was able to pull off the upset, it would really be a big thing. It would do wonders for his career. Not that his career is bad now, but it really would add some zeros to them checks, I think, and really just put him out there maybe where he wants to be. I don't know. Maybe he wants to be out there more. He's on Ellie every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Maybe he wants to more exposure or whatever. Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, for Errol Spence is just looking bringing this angle to the table is dangerous for him, man. It's real dangerous. It's no win for him, really. If he wins, it was a small guy. That's what you're supposed to do. He came up 2 weight classes. If you beat him and don't look impressive, the small guy took you 12 rounds, took you 8 rounds to get him out. It did this. It did. It's just everything about it is bad for Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then the ultimate, if he loses, is just like you kind of was a hype job. You kind of, I know you don't like to use that, but you would fall into that exposed realm to me because You was just a boogeyman. You was just a boogeyman.
Right.
How do you go from the boogeyman to the Cookie Monster? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it's just it's all bad on the business side for Errol Spence.
Okay, so if we look at like with the hardcore fans, and we all know as far as what Mikey's bringing to the table, and everybody's saying he's this 4-division world champion, and Errol Spence beats him, you don't think that's going to give him any stock then? Like, I mean, everybody's kind of using that against him now. I mean, they're using it in favor of Mikey. Like, if Mikey wins, he's a multi-division world pound-for-pound champion. But if Spence beats a potential pound-for-pound champion, how come it's not in his favor then? Because the same way with, like, if he beats Crawford, Crawford moved up.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's just the thing that looking at it, the fight just looks like a mismatch. You know what I'm saying? You just see these two guys without even looking at the paperwork or anything. It just looks like a fight that, of course, the guy on the left won. Look at him. He's towering over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
In that aspect of it. Of course, if Errol Spence was to go in here and completely dominate and run through Mikey, it is going to be some feathers in his hat. But I'm just saying it will be the people to say, you're going to have those people too to say, yo, he was small, he was this. I mean, you can't deny that. Yeah, he's a 4-time world champion. You knocked him out in 3 rounds. I mean, we can't deny that, even though he was a smaller guy. I didn't make him get in the ring. But it's kind of like, I mean, Lomachenko don't really get a lot of props for rigging the out. You know what I'm saying? I kind of forget that he beat him. You know what I'm saying? That's not the name that get mentioned when you talk about Lomachenko necessarily. You know what I mean? So,
but then again, like Mikey got more accomplishments than Rigo, right? So, I mean, that would kind of be bigger for Errol versus whenever Loma beat Rigo. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but like as far as experience, Rigo still has like some legendary status in the game, all these amateur fights, the gold medals and stuff like that. I mean, Loma beat him. It did something for him, but it still didn't really make me feel like, oh, yo, you the truth, because you beat a guy that was smaller. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's kind of, it's going to be something in there for Errol Spence, but it's not going to be like beating Terrence Crawford. It's not going to be like beating one of the legit guys at welterweight just because we know these guys are close to your size.
Okay.
I
asked that because I always feel like people, a lot of the casual fans, they forget that, Hagler, he beat Duran and he gets a lot of credit for that. Duran, he was a small guy, he came up from the lighter weight. Same with Hearns, he knocked out a smaller guy and he was long, tall, and it all looked like a mismatch, but he gave, he did give Hagler a tough fight, but you know what I mean? Like, when people look back on it, they give him that credit for those fights. Now I'm kind of saying, like, when you got a three division world champion, why wouldn't it be a big win for Earl?
The reason that, to me, in my opinion, that Marvin Hagler got because Roberto Hagler was such a nasty guy, and so whenever he got his ass whipped, people were happy to see that. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be the same. People are not waiting to see Errol Spence get his ass, but people are not waiting to see him because neither one of these guys have that type of, personality, kind of going into the fight. That's the thing too. It's like, it is mutual respect there. This is not like full on war. These guys hate each other where, you know what I'm saying? It'll be a mutual respect. And I mean, I feel like that he will get some accolades, but there's going to be people on the other side. I mean, that say he don't deserve them. They're going to bring that up. We can't deny that. We can't help it. I mean, that is what it is, but people will play both sides of that. They're going to say, yeah, he gets it. That was 4-time world champion. He, be the experienced guy, but guys will say, he was smaller too. That's how every fight goes. Every Floyd Mayweather, prime example, every fight he had, you had people want to see him lose. Right. I mean, but you had people who said, yo, that was a masterpiece. And you had guys, he was smaller, he was old, so it's always going to be those both sides, of how people look at it. But like when people say that to me, oh, he was smaller, but okay, it was Juan Lopez was a top 10 fighter, world class. You know what I'm saying? World class guy. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? That is the difference. You know what I'm saying? It's not just a guy that's smaller that nobody knows, that's not, worthy of being in there with me. So, You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, guys with those nasty personalities, and they get it hard in the game because that bad personality is just when you lose, people love that. Yeah.
Right. Because like when we all looking about when we watching a fight, we looking at it skill for skill, but like the average fan, whenever he's hearing the mouth is what he's mostly faced on. So he's not looking at the skill. So he's mostly bigging that win up off because I ain't like that person. You know what I mean?
Think about Roberto Duran if we was back during that time when he in the press conference with Sugar Ray and he grabbing his dick at Sugar Ray Leonard's wife. Sugar Ray Leonard is the most charismatic, down-to-earth, humble fighter out. And this man is just... Well, you think people want to cheer for him? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They say, yo, you ain't got no tact, you ain't got no class. Sugar... go in there and knock his head off. You know, that's why I say you do got to be careful that the role you play because, I mean, it does. It factors in how you're giving status in the game. Yeah, you know, it still factors in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So with these two, like the way they both saying kind of quiet, it's just kind of like may the best man win. That's all it is. And I'm glad it's like it because now we just talking skill. We not talking about, oh, he out here on TMZ slapping people up. But you know what I mean? We can actually look at it and dissect it, you know? Absolutely. That's the way I see it. May the best man win. You know, because that's really what it's going to boil down to. But that's the way it is. I mean, these guys, I don't have negative energy towards either guy. I like both guys. Both guys are worthy. You know, world-class guys. May the best man win. You know what I'm saying? May the best man win. You know what I mean? I really don't have a stake in it either way, but, you know, it's just a very interesting fight. It's for, to me, and I just see, like, Errol Spence is just, like, minding his business, and this little chihuahua just won't stop biting at his ankle. He keep kicking him away. Look, man, go away. He won't go away, and then finally he gotta. Then when you go boom, and you kick that, you know what I'm saying? Flying. Yeah. He gotta. You gotta put him in his place. There. He gotta go down and handle this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know he don't want to. He don't want to, but the dog just won't leave him alone. So saying that, we getting close to our prediction here. Does Spence need a KO to win? Do you feel like he needs to knock Mikey out since you put it like that? You got this little dog biting at him. Got to put him on his ass. Spence, no. I mean, a dominant performance is going to be enough. I mean, it's already like the judges are probably going to be kind of just swayed in that direction because he's a favorite. Everybody's, you know, anything he lands, people gonna be like, oh wow, oh he's hurt, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of that or whatever. But honestly, for me, I mean, like earlier I said, I compared it to the Rigo and Loma because I could just see maybe the corner throwing it in. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way I see it. Yeah, stop. You know, because I see his heart getting. He ain't gonna quit. Too big a heart because he's taking this fight. And you know, Robert Garcia and them in the beginning, they were already saying like they didn't want him in this fight. You know? Absolutely. That's how I'm kind of seeing it. You know, So I don't know, man. But like I say, may the best man win. You know, I like both guys. If you know, the thing is, like you say, Ant, you know, 30 minutes. Okay, yeah, Errol Spence, he's definitely, if he pulls, you know, not if he pulls this off, but if he wins this fight, there's definitely feathers in his cap and definitely a name on his resume. But you know, when you look at the Mikey Garcia, it's just like David and Goliath. You know, the David and Goliath, everybody's on David's side, and it's just. You know, I mean, I've always been the smaller guy. Yeah, when you fight the impossible, you going against all the odds. It's just like it's hard not to want to root for this kid. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh man, nobody else wanted to fight Goliath, and David came in. Little David came in here. Little David gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's so many dynamics to how you view the sport too, man. You know what I'm saying? Just something like that. The little guys probably pulling for Mikey because they've been a little guy their whole life and know how it is. And Errol Spence, like you just said earlier, he's called the boogeyman. A lot of people will equate that to bully. A boogeyman is a bully. So small guys have always, I can't say that, but probably have encountered some of that. You know, being the smaller guy, always having to prove themselves and people wanting to test them or whatever. So, you know, it's a lot of dynamics to play into how people, you know, might want to who they might be fans of in the fight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I mean,
right.
in the actual personal experience of mine is like my dad. That's one of his favorite things. Man, I always been a little guy, man. I couldn't nothing better than me watching the boxing match, seeing a little brother knock a big. You know what I mean? That's his line right there. So I mean, there's a lot of psychology behind that too, and you know what I mean. And you know, and then even like I say, back to David and Goliath. You know what I mean? Just seeing the little guy beat the big guy. It's just always something exciting to see.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it is, like, because everybody feels like life is like this big challenge, you know. So they're always the one looking up at the goals, you know.
The big challenge.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can see that, definitely, man. Yeah, I think for me, like, just seeing a solid performance out of both guys, you know, as tough as both of these guys are, doesn't mean the fight, you know. First of all, if I say the fight's not going to end in knockout because the guy's smaller, you know, these guys are tough enough to last 12 rounds, you know, because even looking at go, like I said, Ward Kovalev, people thought he was knocked Ward out, you know, but that fight went 12, you know, and I feel like this could be the same way. Both of these guys are taking the challenge, you know, they're doing something nobody else wants to do. And I feel like it could go 12, but Spence doesn't really need a knockout. He needs to look good. Same with Mikey. Mikey can't go 12 with a controversial decision. You know, he can't go controversial decision with a black eye looking beat up, because then people be like, you put yourself through this war, and they're going to say, now you probably lost a little something, so you can't go back down. You might mess yourself up. So both of these guys just need a definitive win, you know?
Yeah. And speaking on that note, Ant, because boxing sometimes can be very, very frustrating to me. You know, every week it's a robbery. And I don't feel like debating, going back and forth with what a person might have seen or not have seen about something that's close, that people could have very well seen different things.
Yeah.
I need to see more dominant performances, and we need to see more either up the rounds to a odd number, or we need fighters to be more dominant and more definitive in the ring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I say, Floyd Mayweather, say what you want to say, but 50 fights, he always found a way to win. He wasn't a knockout artist. He wasn't necessarily a crowd favorite. I mean, but he always found a way to win, because scoring points is win. You know, scoring point is that's the name of the game. So it's just like fighters really have to step on the gas and put on some more dominant performances, because all these close fights are really starting to be bad for the fans. And every week it's a robbery. Every week people saying robbery. You know what I mean? And they very well may feel that way, but it's just irritating because we just want a clear winner.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We want to walk away where we saw somebody actually look the better part that night.
Yeah, look the better part that night. And we confident in that. You know what I'm saying? We confident in that. You know what I'm saying? We confident in that. So, I mean, that, you know, the last few years, we definitely been having our taste of, you know, these close fights, and, you know, the boxing world is divided, and it's annoying, that, you know what I'm saying? It's annoying to me. I'm not
that odd debate, round,
you know.
Yeah, that odd round might be something need to be done.
Yeah, hey, man.
Shout out to Shelly Vincent, though. Like, I asked her if she won 15 rounds. She was like, hell no.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe like 11 or 13.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could go down. Yeah, you can go down. It ain't got to go up. But that odd number would at least give us another lane for stuff to be
even. Cut, clean cut,
you know
wins.
What I'm saying?
Now,
So I'm just saying, but I'm just boxing in there in a little bit, but it's all good. But it is frustrating, though.
He's shaking his cane at me, but he's like, "This is crazy. We need to go back to the old days."
Man, there's something, man. Every week, that's annoying. Every week robbery. Every week it's a robbery.
Man. It's like we got these guys in here. Okay, man, like fighting 12 rounds. When I look at it too, because now when I'm always breaking fights, I'm saying, okay, the first half is 6 rounds. Oh man, it's like a seesaw battle. And then when you go in that last half, it's another 6 rounds. It's
seesaw
like
battle.
Then when you do the math, 6-6. You know, it's a draw. That ain't cutting it. You know,
it's annoying, man.
That and guys, they just need to start taking charge in the fight. You know what I mean? Like you said, Floyd ain't knocking you out, but he's winning. You know?
Yeah, he's winning. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. We there's no disrespect to nobody, but just as a fan, like you said, we want to walk away, be entertained, and be like, hey, this one, not always. I mean, think, and it's fans getting into fights because of these fights. You know what I'm saying? In the crowd.
That's
you know
crazy.
what I mean?
Remember the Triple G and Canelo fight?
People actually getting into brawls because these fights are so close, and
man,
I mean, it's insane. But
dude thought he was Triple G in the damn crowd. He started swinging. That dude laid him out. I was like, yeah.
Out. And that's where it get dangerous at, because you drunk, you just finished watching the fight. Of course you think you Canelo. You think you Canelo and Triple G combined. Of course you think that, and then you get a wake-up call. Some damn smelling salt. Sir, how many fingers do you see? You know what I'm saying? Man. So I'm just saying, man, it's annoying.
It is, man. Okay. But with that being said, we like we said, we want to see a clear winner. We want to walk away satisfied, man. With that being said, what's your prediction Saturday night, man?
My prediction for Saturday night, man, like I say, I'm not invested in either fighter. And I'm gonna just call it like I see it, man. I see Errol Spence by stoppage. I mean, 6, 7, 8 rounds, somewhere in there. I just see, stoppage from the ref or
one of the things you brought up. What do you think? How you think that experience is going to factor into the fight? Like early on, like do you think it's going to play a big part?
Now, I think the experience probably will play out better in the later rounds. You get them in the deep waters in the championship rounds, and that's when you can really see what's in the tank and show some of that experience that you have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Early in the fight, he's just gonna have to try not to eat too many shots, and that's gonna be his main thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he cannot. I don't care how tough his chin is. He cannot sit in there and eat shots from Errol Spence to the head or to the body.
Yeah, definitely not the body.
And he takes body shots, and his body not really looking tight all the time. So that's not something he's gonna want to do either.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
I agree with that, because remember we was talking about Lamont Peterson's workout. He came in with the ripped abs and everything. We saw how Spence did to his body. Just broke him down.
Yeah, shattered him. Yeah. He came in, like you say, with the solid core, the ripped up core.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And experience,
Mm-hmm.
And experience. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked to see maybe him catch a younger Peterson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I really feel like Peterson. He's been in so many wars. He's seen better days, but he definitely was an experienced fighter, and he definitely, had a solid core.
He definitely. He's always been, got to come in, in shape. Yeah. So okay. So you say Spence by early, late stoppage?
Yeah, like I said, between 6 and 8, between round 6 and round 8, some type of stoppage, TKO, or corner throws in the towel for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm gonna go with probably
first round knockout.
Yeah. Now, I ain't gonna be greedy like that. But I think you'll probably stop him in maybe like the 6th round or something.
6. Stop Mikey.
If he's able to touch him over and over, because I don't think, man, he could take them shots, man, to the body, man. If he breaks him down, I think he could get him out at 6. But if Mikey has that experience like he claims he do, I think he could take it. I think he could take it to the later rounds.
What you think about Mikey jab, though? Mikey got
a good jab. He got a good jab. Mikey has a good jab, and Errol is kind of known sometimes to be on the line, and he got to move that head. So tonight's the night where he gonna have to move that head.
So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, may the best man win. My prediction is solely coming from just the boxing math, and you know what I mean. If I go on my heart, I want to pull for the underdog, and I want to pull for the guy who got the balls to do something like this. You know what I mean? But I'm just going from on the math, and it just looked like it. It probably wound up getting stopped at some point in time. But
yeah, I see that way. Like, it ain't gonna be Mikey quitting. It's gonna be, like you said, like I said, to the corner. you know, either the corner or the referee gonna see enough.
See enough. You know, because the thing about it, people got to factor this into. To who benefit would it be for him to just sit there and take punishment all night long? That's stupid.
Right.
You know, right now, he could, you know, count his losses and fight another day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But for anybody to sit back and watch him get punished for 12 rounds just to say that he went 12 rounds.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, despite he might not win, oh, no, you better not stop it. You know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's say he reacts to every single shot. You know what I mean? Like, where he just is on Queer Street every time he get tagged. Like, that's when you got to stop it. You know, you just can't keep saying, oh, I got to keep going. Don't stop it. You know, like, when you see your fighter in there hurt off of one shot each round, and you can't take one shot.
Or just even in a bad situation, man. I mean, you know, Errol Spence, he get hot and he teeing off on you and you eating 3-4 of them solid shots. I mean, we don't know what shot causes the damage.
Right.
So, you know, anybody seeing Mikey Garcia, he's a young guy. He got a hell of a career ahead of him with a loss. You know, Saturday night still. Why would you let him go in there? Why would you shelve a good fighter? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what could happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's what could happen, yeah. All in all, man, like, when we look at it like that, it's saying, why? That's the main question.
It would be pointless now.
Like,
if he's in there winning, that's different.
That's different, yeah.
If he's winning, we're seeing some little glimpses or something, that's different. But if you're not seeing nothing, then it's like, I mean, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's what will happen, you know, with Robert and, you know, the family around. They not going to sit back and just...
Nah, they can't, because,
you know
like...
what I'm saying?
Robert, he already had that in his mind state, like, you know, no, we're not gonna let him take unnecessary punishment.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's like we you know, this is family, you know.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Is really, man, when you look at this fight, like, the risk is just as big as reward, man. But it's like, do you got enough to really get that reward, man? Because like, well, every time we talk about it now, like, if you lose, man, like, you get beat to the point where it could mess you up for other fights, you know.
Right.
That's why I want to see Mikey be able to have some skill in this fight to not get hurt like that. Like, I don't want to see anybody get put out like that.
That's what I'm saying. It kind of sucked. It just spit me back into the Rigondeaux and Loma fight, though, because it's like, damn, I mean. But the thing, I can't go on that, because it'd be one thing if Rigondeaux was busted up and we didn't see no damage, you know what I'm saying?
His was more mental, you know, like a mental break, because, like.
And being older.
Yeah. It wasn't really like he walked out of there getting beat down.
The punishment didn't really,
Because Virgil Hunter, he actually made a good point on that. He was like, when I saw that fight, he was like, I didn't see Rigondeaux really hurt, you know? He's like, I didn't see anything in there where it made me say, like, he was really like, oh man, he getting beat.
Nothing worthy of quitting. I mean, but kind of same thing with the Nick Walters. I mean, he's doing some stuff, but not enough to make a world champion. Come on, bro.
Shit, man. That's crazy, bro. But like, in this type of fight here, this matchup, it's like, the way we making it seem, a lot of people seeing one-sided. It's just like a lot of risk factor, man.
Yeah.
For a smaller guy. Like I said, I don't really like to use risks, but there is risk whenever you ain't been there before, you know?
Yeah. And when you in there with a guy who, like you say, you know, from your words, be changing guys after he fight them. I mean, this is not just a guy with power, you know what I'm saying? It's a guy with power who knows how to use it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when you put it like that, it's just like, wow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, whenever you fight Floyd, you go to school, you know, you come home, you all right. You ain't gonna get too
have a couple whelps on you. You know what I'm
saying? When you go to fight Spence, you go into the meat shop, or you go into the meat grinder.
You want a special ed class after that. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, like, that's my call. That's your call. You say like 67.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, somewhere in the middle rounds. You know what I'm saying?
I got first round knockout. No, I'm going with like 6, 5 or 6.
You know, I mean, like I say, and I would love to see something special happen. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Saturday night we'll see. But it's just looking. It's if it happens, it's gonna be special, because it's a lot to pull off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
He definitely got a lot to work. His work cut out for him, bro. But yeah, man. Before we wrap this thing up, man, anything else you want to say in closing, bro?
No, man. Just like I say, man. I'm lit this weekend, man. I'm off Friday. It's my birthday. You know, we got this fight, so I have my fight party jumping off. You know, just me, myself, and I.
That's how it go down, man.
You know what I'm saying? This is an ideal weekend for me. I'm good. You know, I don't really need all the extras. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing is, see, this type of fights we really do need, because it's like it's only one fight and we jump off. You know what I mean? It's not like a whole bunch to balance it out. I mean, that's good too, but I mean, we got this one fight bringing a lot of energy, man. You know, a lot of people out there want to see this.
Absolutely, man. That's the power of a boxing, man. I mean, you get the right two people, man, and it just have everybody talking, everybody, and it's like it's fascinating and irritating at the same time, man, because it's like, you know, we do this every day no matter what, and then, you know, when something like this happens, then you got people talking, yeah, man, because Errol Garcia, man, he's really good, man. He's, you know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with all that nonsense, you know what I'm saying? So
they be like, I heard Mikey Tyson be knocking people out. You know, you know what I mean? They
all messed up.
They be messing it up, but yeah, man. Before I will wrap this up too, man, I did say I looked at the Porter Ugas fight again. You know, just to look at it, and I feel like it was a close fight, man. I don't really feel like a lot of people were saying it was robbery. Did you?
I mean,
it wasn't what I wanted to see from Porter or Ugas. So.
And when my definition of robbery is like an obvious, what's the name? It was a very close fight, and that's just kind of just what I was talking about. That I'm sick of the word robbery, and I'm kind of sick of close fights, man. People got to know how to take a close fight and step on the gas. I mean, something like Sugar Ray Leonard did with Marvin Hagler, you know, stealing the last 10 seconds of the round. I mean, that's strategy. You got to do something to push off. You know what I'm saying?
Push out
if it's
that,
close,
when you're here, you got to go in.
Yeah, you got to do something at the last minute, just hit the gas and just to accelerate a little bit. You know, I know it's easier said than done, guys, but you know,
there's got to be moments because, like you said, this case, like, it wasn't a robbery. Like, we can't blame the judge. We were mad at the fighters because they didn't take charge.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely. So
neither one could really get mad and say, "Oh man, I felt I did enough." But you know, you didn't,
man. You know.
But yeah, man. Hopefully, we won't get that this weekend, man.
I doubt it.
You know. So before we wrap this thing up, like always, Pete.
Y'all can follow me on my personal Instagram, P Barnhill. Just, you know, my personal stuff, you know, life, everyday, family, you know, and then you can check me out on Loud Pack Boxing, you know, just for a little bit more exclusive side of, you know, boxing piece and where I'm from, what I'm about, and some of the things I'm into. And, you know, you can always check us out on Instagram at thejabeffect, you know, .com. And that's it right now. Yeah, JabEffect. Well, JabEffect, not JabEffect.com, but the JabEffect on Instagram. Y'all can check us both out on there. So, you know what it is, y'all.
Also, you know, JabEffect on Facebook.
So. Facebook, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely shout out to Facebook on, shout out to, you know, all the Facebook followers too, man. They really supportive and really, be helping the page grow. You know what I'm saying? Being interactive. So, we see y'all. We appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely, man. We appreciate that. But yeah, y'all can follow me at ComboBreaker99 on Instagram, as well as All Boxing Everything on Instagram and on YouTube, you know, talking about some women fights and MMA and just a little bit more boxing, you know, just going in on some YouTube stuff. But yeah, make sure y'all subscribe there. And like always, you know, you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Spotify. And we everywhere, bro. I say that at the end every time. But yeah, man, we about to wrap this up because we getting hyped for this fight. I'm ComboBreaker99.
It's your boy Boxing P, y'all.
And we'll see you after the fight.
Later.
Peace.